Welcome back to Super Smash Lesbians, the show where the host can't even have a consistent audio quality. I'm AJ, and this video is the second part of a trilogy of videos discussing the first 4 seasons of Super Smash Lesbians Ultimate. This video will be discussing the events of Seasons 2 and 3 in one video, since there's not too much to talk about on their own. As mentioned in the last episode, Season 2 begins 1 week after the 5th Season 1 finale on the first week of February 2020, and things pick off right where they left off. The Season 2 premiere begins with Kronya awakening from her week-long coma, and I was immediately called in on what happened. From there, I gave her the options of working either with Smash Lesbians so that she could have a roof over her head, or she was going to live on her own with nobody to help her. She rightfully chose the former, and during the Season 2 premiere, she was revealed to the other members during the last match of the episode. Even though, prior to the match, there was a heavily edited version of Byleth's Smash trailer shown, this time adding in Kronya back into the cutscene from Three Houses, and having a deepfake Sothis say that she lost a letter for Byleth. You can probably guess who he got for redubbing the lines. During the fight, Kronya was not doing too good, with one of the opponents being Byleth, who had a full-on rage boner against her. By some chance, there were the only 2 left on the stage, and right before Byleth would publicly execute her, 3 new challengers unexpectedly intervened. This was the group called the Anti-Smash 4, a group of Nintendo ladies that opposed the main Smash 4 group, Urbosa, Salazzle, and Twintel. They were looking everywhere for a 4th member, and when they saw the live stream for the episode, they rushed over and immediately hired Kronya. Additionally, the group runs a bar underneath Nintendo World in Manhattan, where she would be able to work outside of Ultimate. Of course, since the other members were on the set, they too became members of the show. And as for Byleth, he calmed down and would eventually make amends with his father's killer, who's also a clown. A couple of other noteworthy episodes in the season included the Valentine's Day episode. The episode showed off Rey's tea time from Three Houses because that DLC was released that week. I made the best Three Houses waifu tier list, don't at me. And we had Sonic on as a guest commentator since his movie was out during that day, dominating Harley Quinn's shitty movie at the box office. Wait, in the Steve trailer, Sonic sends Mario to the Minecraft world, and in Smash Lesbians, Harley plays the Steve role. Was Sonic trying to tell us the fate of the show months in advance? Anyway, another episode worth noting was the crossover with another show airing on Shareverse around the same time, Wild and Crazy Gaide, or Whacked for short. If you were somehow able to withstand the second episode of the podcast, you'll recall that this Disney alignment-based show/storyline would lead into one of the members of the show, Zero, calling me on the train in 2016, saying that there were a lot of lesbians in the world, which would lead into the creation of Super Smash Lesbians just a few days later. So, without Whacked, Smash Lesbians probably wouldn't be a thing. But also, I wanted to have this crossover be released around the same time as the release of the Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, which is such a great collection that everyone should own. Upscaled graphics, HD anime cutscenes, uncompressed voice clips. For the price of $30, you get 6 of the greatest Mega Man games out there with some added features.
Please buy this Legacy Collection!
Going back to the show, one of the matches in the episode was a 2-man team battle in the parking lot all about power couples. Basically a male and female couple whose primary colors are red and blue. The winners of this match, ironically enough, was 2 of the guests that night, X and Zero, and people loved Zero for some reason, and wished he would have been a permanent member of the show. So, shortly after the episode concluded, I hired Zero to be one of the commentators, as well as being the announcer/referee for fights. And at the same time, I kinda needed Zero to be on the show since he's one of the most pivotal members in the history of the franchise. In fact, he was totally on board. Any family or work issue that he would miss out on would be taken care of by X, who is one of the most nicest people ever. Holy shit, she is so nice, I just want to hug her ass. So far, you would call Season 2 a success. Great ratings, views, and word of the show spreading like crazy. Everything was going great. Until March rolled around. That's when the pandemic started to hit businesses hard, and Smash Lesbians was one of the many companies that had to be on lockdown. The rest of the episodes of the season were all online matches, which unanimously agreed were terrible and did not have the same impact as the real fights. This did not stop my enthusiasm for the show, as I demanded that the season would have a proper finale. And thankfully, my prayers were answered on May 25th, the date for Mortal Kombat 11's Aftermath expansion. As mentioned in the DLC crew episode, the finale consisted of Mileena and Nami having a rematch that would lead into a literal friendship, and Rex and Luffy planning a rematch in the next foreseeable/not foreseeable future in the parking lot. The next part of the video will be discussing an ongoing relationship that began in Season 2 and grew throughout Season 3. So let's talk about the Smash community! Okay, maybe let's just focus on their relationship with Fire Emblem characters.
Too many swordsmen, are there?
Shafralas
made a really good video talking about how Smash players hate Fire Emblem characters in Smash, but this all leads back to Byleth for Smash Lesbians Ultimate. He didn't feel as welcomed as the other newcomers, both in Smash Bros. And Lesbians, and he was having a difficult time to accept that a psychotic daddy clown murderer was a secondary role for his main role. That's when he came across Jennifer, the Ike role for Smash Lesbians Ultimate, and one of the strongest Astro Souls in Shareverse. He asked her if she could be his part-time teacher to improve his skills, and show others that he was competent enough for Smash. But Jen doesn't take anyone to be her student, and Byleth knew that, so he wanted to prove his worthiness to her, competing in matches harder than usual and training every waking minute. Eventually being Jennifer's part-time student, where she trained him in her snow condo in Asia. Over time, Byleth became a more welcomed member in the Smash community and our production, and he easily became a fan favorite. Now, on to Season 3. Again, not much to talk about. The premiere episode was the Rex and Min Min fight, the day she came out on June 29th. And the outcome is exactly how you think it turned out. The rest of the episodes throughout July through September were mostly tame, until of course, the Steve reveal. When I first heard about Steve would be in Smash, I already had Harley planned to play out that role. And then I got a realization that Steve may be top tier, and potentially Harley defeating all of the stronger members of the show. Motherfucking Demon Tech Rex, Starla, even Rosalina and Samus. Rather than me helping Rex train for the eventual arrival for Harley, I decided to give him to Jennifer.
What an asshole!
Throughout the first 2 weeks of October, Rex went into more intense training than usual up until October 13th, when the Injustice bitches made their way to Smash Lesbians Ultimate. And as mentioned in the DLC crew episode, the four women were laughingstocks, Harley getting her ass whipped by everyone. Although I do want to bring up a match between Byleth and Lapardus for how cinematic their fight was. Everything else I already went over. Rex beating the shit out of Harley twice, Mileena being announced for Mortal Kombat 11's Combat Pack 2, and Ivy being disowned from her dignity. All of which would lead up to the movie, which I already discussed in a separate video. And that's the end of Season 3. A very disappointing and short season, but most of its episodes did focus more on the characters, so that's good, I guess. Please consider subscribing since the final part of the season overview trilogy will be up soon in the coming weeks. With that, I'm AJ, and I'll see you all in the next one.